Hi yogis. So I wanted to post just a quick little tutorial about the Vinyasa flows. I know some of my students haven't done a lot of Vinyasa. I'm posting these Vinyasa videos on the YouTube, so just wanted to go over some of the options and some of the ways you can personalize this for what you need in your practice. So the full-on Vinyasa flow would be going from a plank position. So our plank, we have our shoulders over our wrists and reaching out back through the heels, lifting up through the low belly. So in the plank, everything is pulled in. We're pulling in around the ribs, not sinking into the shoulders. So pressing away from the floor, broad through your chest and shoulders, and lifted into your low belly. So everything is in. It's a full bond engagement. So from our plank position, keeping that bond engagement, so keeping that sensation of everything being pulled in, wrapping in through the arms. The chest comes forward. This is one of the things that I think people miss out a lot, is they try to just lower themselves down from the stacked position, but your chest comes forward, so you're actually bringing the sensation of your shoulders past your fingertips or towards your fingertips, so that when you bend your elbows, they create more of a 90-degree angle. When you're at your deepest position, your shoulders are not below your elbows generally. And then from this chaturanga position, still nice and long through the body, not dumped into your low back, so lifted through your ribs, lifted through your low back, then you slide even more forward. That's when you would either come up into somewhat straight arms, or not all the way hyperextended straight, but they're gonna look relatively straight through your arms, rolling the heads of the shoulders back, keeping the legs on the floor long out through the feet. This would be your version of cobra, right? So it's just like how we set up a normal cobra in class, except for going deeper with the arms straighter, right? So you can either go through that way, or you can go and hover the legs. That's the upward facing dog. So what that looks like, going from our plank position, chest forward, 90-degree angle with the arms, chest rolls forward, and we lift up, hovering the legs, rolling the heads of the shoulders back. So they're both back bends, right? I like to really look back. That feels really good for my shoulders. But if you have a really flexible neck, make sure your head's not going back super far, right? So your head is still like over your shoulders. Some people won't even allow you to lift your chin at all. I think there's some leeway there, but just make sure your head's not like flying back. You're not just doing it all with your neck, because that might be more than your neck needs. So those are our general starting off points, right? So that's where we're going to be with that. When you set yourself up for these, make sure that your back of your wrists parallel to the top of your mat, so your hands aren't going in or going out. However, those elbows in tight, those really tricep push-ups, are a lot for your shoulders as well. So if you have a situation where you want to bring your arms a little wider, you want to let your elbows go out a little bit more, I don't think that's the end of the world. My understanding is, even in Mysore, they're teaching that now for people who are doing these very chaturanga, heavy, intense practices. That's a lot for your shoulders. So that's why you have to be mindful, pay attention to what your body's telling you, and modify if needed, and then modify as much as needed. So you can go through, if you wanted to, like, I'm feeling like so strong today, I wanted to do more, you can add on. So what you can do is, either from your plank position, I'm going to add on a chaturanga. So I'm either going to chaturanga up and then go and do it again, or I could do my upward facing dog and then I could do another chaturanga and back. So you can just like add one on at the beginning, add one at the end. I've also done 2 flows, I think, on here so far, where I've done knees, chest, chin. Knees, chest, chin is not really a modification to get you ready to do a chaturanga. It's a different thing. So if you're feeling, I want to do the chaturanga, I just don't have the strength yet, the best way to modify is just to bring your knees down and do everything else exactly the same. So I'm setting up like a knees down plank, shoulders over wrists, and then I'm going to reach my chest forward. I'm going to try to get to that 90-degree angle with my elbows. I'm going to try to keep the belly pulled in, keep everything active, and from there come up into my upward facing or my cobra. Right? I always flip my feet, but until you get really comfortable with flipping your feet, usually for these as well, you would do a one and then the other, right? Instead of flipping at the same time. So I would say, to build up the strength, just do knees down. If you want to do the knees, chest, chin, that's a variation to get more movement, predominantly in the low back and in the pelvis. So that's great if you're working on, I really want to do deep back bends today. Today's deep back bend day. That's going to help you get more movement of your spine. Instead of being that straight long line, everything pulled in, it's just going to bring more mobility for days when that's when you want to work on. So there's some days that instead of doing the regular chaturangas, I do fully knees, chest, chin, which would be same thing, knees come down first. I'm in my plank, I bring my knees down, but that same like pulling yourself through, just adding this arch in your back. So instead of everything being pulled in, trying to go straight, I'm going to add this arch, and then I'm going to come down and pull my chest through into the back bend. So I'm just adding more back bend into the movement. And if you wanted to do a little bit of both, you could also do doing a chaturanga, arms straight, and then knees, chest, chin, and I go into my back bend. So levels. Also, feel free to skip the entire thing. If you're not wanting weight in your hands, you can skip the whole thing. Just do a downward facing dog if that's a restful pose for you. If it's not, or you want to do the back bend, you want to get a back bend, instead of doing the whole flow, instead of doing the plank and everything, you would just come down onto your knees, arch your back, and stay here in all fours with an arched back into the cow position. Or you come down onto your knees, do cat, do cow, back up and down facing dog. So I hope that gives you options. Child's pose, knees wide or not knees wide, just taking a break, taking it down, bringing the heart lower, taking modifications, or even taking it up a notch and doing those added chaturangas if you want to really push yourself more.